We're live. Rock and Bear. Week 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
I think I can still count that.
I think so, barely. Only because I have enough fingers. It is Thursday night. We have some exciting games coming up on this week's slate. First game, Kansas City versus Denver. Is Denver going to surprise people, or is Kansas City going to blow them out, Rock? What do you think?
Well, Rock's going to go fast on several of these games. Kansas City should win this one by more than 10.5. Denver has two outside linebackers that are out. Kelsey's probably going to play some for sure because Taylor Swift's showing up. I've got Kansas City by 20.
Kansas City at home. I like them to cover. We agree. It might be a trap game. Denver is more than due, but they look like they're in poor form.
Well, Jerry Jeudy and Russell Wilson, they might cover the 10.5, but they can't win. All right,
yeah, they can't. We agree. Moving on.
Yeah.
The game over the pond. Baltimore, kind of in a must-win situation against Tennessee. Tennessee's getting 4 points. Is that enough, Rock, or is Baltimore going to cover that? What do you think?
Well, Baltimore's 3-2, and their losses have been to Pitt and to Indy. All right, so they're tough. Tennessee's let me down all year. Tanny's looked terrible. He's got like 7 interceptions and 5 touchdowns.
Two touchdowns, 5 interceptions.
Now, when Tennessee lost to Indy, they had 5 guys. This week they've got 5 people that did not practice. And like you said, they went to London late. Baltimore's been there, but Baltimore lost to Pittsburgh. So I'm still going to go with Tennessee in the 4 points. Probably not a cover. Not
so fast, my friend. Like I said to you before we started recording, Baltimore has been in England since Monday. Their guys that did not practice yesterday were all on the field today. Odell, Clowney, Humphreys, all practicing today. Baltimore's looking healthy. If they can close the game out, they should be 4-1. They should be maybe 5-0. But they haven't been able to close games out. I think they're going to close this game out. They're going to win this game. They're going to get back to the run. Derrick Henry is not the guy he's been in previous seasons, and Tannehill isn't controlling the game.
I agree with that.
Baltimore's defense is going to shut them down. They're going to win by 10 points.
They need a new play caller pertaining to. There was one screen pass thrown to Derrick Henry. They don't throw a screen pass like San Francisco or like some of the other good teams. Okay, moving on. I'm still taking Tennessee. I'm going to take them to. Well, I'm going to take them to win outright.
Oh,
here we go.
Here we go. Washington Commanders. Are they going to command a victory over Atlanta? Atlanta's been ramping things up lately. They're at home, Rock, minus 2.5. What do you think?
Number one, Atlanta's 2-0 at home.
Okay.
But dig this. The teams that they beat.
I got my shovel out.
Carolina and Green Bay. Gee, well, how many games have they won together? Washington, they got slaughtered by the Bears. I would say this, that the Washington quarterback passed for 359 yards against Chicago. I'm taking Washington for the upset, outright.
All right. So I disagree. I think Atlanta's going to win this game at home. They're on a roll. They got momentum after last week's victory at the end, even though they had a bunch of field goals and they barely beat Houston.
All right.
All right, moving on. Minnesota Vikings going to the Bears. The Bears +3 at home. My pick'em league has Minnesota with the favorite, and so does Covers. Covers has Minnesota 58% at -3. Well, I don't know what's going on without Jefferson. Rock, what do you think?
Well, yeah, Jefferson's out. Minnesota's 1-4. Chicago's 1-4. Chicago's coming off a big win. Fields had 4 touchdowns.
Yes.
Okay, and they got this guy no one's
DJ
heard of named Moore.
You haven't heard
230 yards receiving, 3 touchdowns. Bears by 10.
Yeah, I think he had 2 big 60-yard plays on last week. He really showed up finally. I agree. I think Chicago has a little bit of belief in themselves, and at home, I think they're going to win this game, and they're going to send the Vikings stolen home.
There you go. Okay.
All right, moving on. Indianapolis Colts, Gardner Mustache Minshew going to see Jacksonville. Jacksonville's at home after spending 2 weeks across the pond. Are they missing being in England, or are they going to feel good back in Jacksonville?
Let me just say this. Besides Minshew Magic, they've got this guy. Well, they signed John Taylor, right?
Yeah.
But they got this guy named Moss who had 195 yards versus Tennessee.
Yep.
All right? So look out for the ground game. Jack's coming off their best game. You know that best game, worst game? I'm taking the opposite. I'm taking Indy.
I like Indy too here. Gardner can control the clock.
If they can stop Ridley.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Ridley's had a good game or two. He hasn't been consistent all season. And Even though Jacksonville beat Buffalo, they had Trevor had 2 fumbles. It wasn't his best game. They played better football than Buffalo, but it wasn't their best game.
Yeah, they beat up Buffalo, but they were banged up with 4 or 5 guys out.
So we're both taking the Dogs. All right, San Francisco -9.5 at Cleveland. Cleveland's defense, this is a big ask for them. San Francisco looked near perfect against the Cowboys last week. Rock, what do you think?
Well, you know what? It's pretty apparent who the 3 or 4 best teams are. San Francisco's obviously one of them. Cleveland, quarterback out. Cleveland's wins have been against pretty good ones at home versus Tennessee and Cincy, but I'm still taking San Fran to cover the 6.5 and win outright.
It's 9.5, and I agree. I think.
Well, that was before the court. Well, see, my lies before we knew that the quarterback had a rotator and he was out. So yeah.
Okay, well, guess what? Give them 14. It doesn't matter. 49ers. They believe in themselves. They know what they're doing. They're the best team in the NFC, if not the NFL.
You know what? A lot of people would agree with you. I'm kind of one of them. But you got to answer to Philly. Yeah, well,
they're not looking at Philly. They're looking at Cleveland right now.
All right.
They're back at quarterback. All right, so we agree. Win and cover. Moving on, Seattle.
Big one.
Plus 2.5 on the road. Going to Joey B and Jamar Chase and company. They finally put something together last week. Jamar Chase, 14 catches, a Bengals record, 3 touchdowns.
Yes.
No fluke. Rock, what do you think?
Not so fast, my friend.
Okay.
All right. However, Seattle's coming off a bye. Okay.
It's a big bye.
Yeah. So they're rested up. But I remember back, Seattle can't stop anyone with a good passing game. So Chase is hot. So I have to give the 3 to take Cincy.
I agree. I think Cincy. This is do or die for them. They need to go.
Yes.
They need to win 5, 6, 7 in a row to be in talks. Otherwise, their season's over if they lose another one.
The wild cards are getting a little more open as Baltimore starts to lose.
Baltimore and Pittsburgh are
both
kind of fumbling.
The NFC and the AFC, the wild cards are getting open. So there's going to be some good games.
Actually, big prediction: Bengals go on a run and they win their division.
Okay.
I mean, who's ahead of them?
Pittsburgh and
Browns,
Baltimore,
Pittsburgh. They're tripping over they're tripping over themselves.
And
Bengals go on a run and win the division, make the playoffs.
Burrow says my calf is fine. We'll see what happens. Fortunately for them, Seattle doesn't have much of a pass defense, but
it should be a good game. Both teams playing to win.
It's going to be great.
All right, moving on. A battle down south. Houston Texans are hosting the Saints. Houston getting 1.5, almost a pick'em game. Saints blew out the Patriots, but honestly, who hasn't lately? New Orleans should win this game. Rock, what do you think?
Well, New Orleans should be 4-1 with that blank field goal in Green Bay. Houston's coming on bright. I get all the new quarterbacks mixed up. No, I'm taking the Saints to cover and win outright.
All right, maybe C.J. Stroud will make an upset, but I don't think so.
All right.
Carolina, big ask against Miami. Miami minus 13.5. Though they should undoubtedly win. And at home, they're always tough. Are they going to cover the 13, Rock? What do you think?
Boy, oh boy. I don't know how to pronounce the other guy's name.
The running back.
HN. He's on IR now.
Shane.
Whatever. Anyway.
The rookie.
Bryce Young had 3 touchdowns in the last game, but 3 picks. So Miami defense is not famous, but they're at home. Will they cover 13.5? Yes.
I agree. I think they'll win this game. If they can play solid football, it doesn't have to be their best. They should take care of Carolina.
All right, here we go.
Moving on. New England Patriots loading up their muskets against the Raiders. Raiders, they got a game. They won a game at home. Last-minute interception to seal the deal against Green Bay. They're at home again. Are they going to ride momentum and they're going to beat this team and cover the 3, Rock? What do you think?
You have to figure Parcells. Belly's going to win sooner or later. Max looks like a bust. Their one win, they're 1-4. Their one win is against the Jets. I mean, what does that tell you? Although Vegas' wins have been against Green Bay and Denver, so that's not much better.
Yeah.
This game is another coin toss. If you had to go with the coach, and they might trade Max Crosby, I'm gonna go with New England.
Okay, all right. I mean, McDaniel. I mean, Belichick. That is his dad.
Oh yeah!
So, these guys do each other. Interesting coaching matchup. I'll go the other way. I think Las Vegas takes this game at home. They have momentum. They're not playing great, but they're playing well. I think Josh Jacobs will actually have a sneaky good game because he has not been so hot this season.
Well, Belichick could probably smash the statue. Jimmy G, the guy that I can move faster than him, and so could you. Anyway, all right, go on.
Moving on.
Big one here.
Big one. Detroit roaring over to the Bucks. Bucks +3 at home. I think that's justified. Detroit's playing good football. I don't think it's been a fluke. They haven't been playing great football, but they're in the mix on the top of the NFC North. Rock, what do you think?
Well, that's the weakest. Well, it's hard to say which is the weakest division in football right now.
I think they're a top 5 NFC team.
Montgomery's. Well, so do a lot of people. Montgomery's running the football like a stud. Thanks, Bears. Mm-hmm. Tampa's 3-1. They're coming off a bye.
Okay.
Rest. They stopped the Saints.
Yep.
And they have wins against Minnesota and Chicago. So that's their 3 wins. I'm going to have to go with Tampa at home because golf's just due for a bad game. So I'm taking Tampa, and I believe that they're +3. Yes,
I agree.
At home.
I think Detroit is going to have a tough time, but I think they'll win the game. I think they'll win the cover. 3 points, maybe it'll be a push. I think it'll be a close game, but Detroit, they're just playing. They're playing better than Tampa Bay is right now in the total picture.
So what you're saying is Detroit's going to win.
Field goal to win.
But
field goal to win.
All right.
So it'll be a push.
Yeah, that's kind of a pussy.
Well, not pussy, but I think Detroit's going to win the game. 3 points.
All right,
hey, by half a point.
Go for
2.5.
Go for it, son.
All right, moving on. Arizona Cardinals going to the Rams. Rams -7. Cup's back. Puka shell necklace, I'll call him. I'm wearing it around my neck. Matt Stafford, is he done? Or is he going to cover the 7 points, Rock?
Here's the deal. Arizona's one win has been against the Cowboys, and the Rams are 0-2 at home. They're giving up 7. For some reason, I think. Cup had 117 yards,
yep.
and the Rams are at home. But like I said, they're 0-2. I would take the points. Rams will win, but won't cover the 7.
All right, I will disagree. I think Rams will win and cover. I think they'll actually win by 14 points here. Right. I think Cup's going to make a breakout game. If they can, I don't think Arizona can pressure Stafford enough to make him make mistakes.
Where's my wallet?
Where's my wallet? It's behind. It's propping up the iPad. All right, moving on. The last game of the afternoon. Philadelphia -7 at the Jets. Jets defense going to surprise them, or is Philly going to cover? Rock, what do you think?
No, Philly's got Swift, and they've got this game's going to be. Jet fans will be booing at the end of the first quarter.
Okay.
This one's going to be 28-3 Philly.
28-3 Philly. I agree. I think Philly should win and cover, but something's telling me this might be a game where Philly trips over themselves, expecting to win, and the Jets do something miraculous. It shouldn't happen, but something's telling me maybe.
I might agree with that, but Philly's one of the 6 or 7 teams that has a players coach.
Yeah.
He doesn't like Detroit and Seattle and Pittsburgh, etc.
Something's giving me flashbacks of Cowboys versus Cardinals when Philly wasn't really putting much emphasis on this game. Jets defense is good, but Philly should win and cover.
I was going to say.
But hey, I can say I told you so.
You must have been doing acid last week.
But I can say I told you so.
All right, go ahead.
All right. The New York Football Giants going to Buffalo. Buffalo down a lot of men. But they're still -14.5. What does Vegas know, Rock?
Well, here's the thing. Jones is very tentative, and with their record, if they think he's their franchise quarterback, Tyrod Taylor, I think that's who came in, and he didn't do too bad. He's got wheels. So does Jones. But still, that spread, Jesus, that's a pretty big spread. I'm still going to take Philly and...
Philly. Buffalo?
I'm sorry, I'm on the wrong game, guys. Yeah.
14.5. Buffalo.
Buffalo wins 27-10.
All right,
they
so
barely
you haven't covered.
They barely cover.
I think I like that score line, but I think the Giants are going to have a last-minute garbage time touchdown to cover the 14.5.
That's very possible.
Yeah,
very possible.
Because Buffalo's defense is missing players.
Monday
Night Football. Cowboys looking for redemption. Going to see the Chargers in LA. Rock, what do you think?
I think that the Chargers coming off a bye. Okay.
Off a bye. That's big.
And Dallas had.
Is Keenan Allen going to make a statement?
Dallas had a terrible game, and I'm taking the Chargers to win outright.
Not so fast. Dallas come back. This is a statement game for them. They want to prove the haters wrong, and they won by a touchdown. All right, thanks for tuning in to Week 6 Rock and Bear.
And
what do you think? Like, comment, and subscribe.
Yeah, do it. Subscribe.